It's here and it is humongous. I mean, as you can see, this thing is just barely fitting between my lights here on my photo table. So I'm about to move this unboxing down to the floor because this just is not gonna fit here. Just to give you guys an idea, here is the size of a large master grade box, and yeah, it's much bigger. Here is a perfect grade box, and it's still much bigger. If you remember the Mechanicore Deep Striker box, it's even bigger than that box. This is without a doubt the largest model kit box that I've ever seen and that I have, obviously. Oh. And it's heavy too. Just the shipping for this kit was like $70, which, come to think of it, considering the size and weight of this, that actually doesn't seem that bad. I probably would have expected it to be more around 100. Alright, so first thing right off the bat, you can see the 1/100 scale Ziegler. I thought they were calling it 1/72 scale. I guess that was just for their Cubile. Strictly limited edition, 3,000 made, and I got number 496, so a relatively low number out of 3,000, so that's pretty cool. Here's just the final inspection sticker there, the Mechanicore logo there, and just some other kind of boring stuff. We can see the Zeong without its legs here right now to pull this out of here. Here's the front, or possibly the back, but one of the larger sides. So you can see one of the features of this kit, the hands do shoot out. The light, the wire doesn't light up as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that is not a feature, that's just for the artwork here. This is just not a photo of the kit, obviously, just a CG render. It says here at the top, the product herein originates from a registered design in the People's Republic of China, certificate number. So I guess they trademarked this design in China. Says pre-order premium souvenir inside, alternative dark gray armor, and matrix camouflage waterslide decals, both of which I don't really care too much about. Like, the pre-order bonuses for this kit were pretty weak in my opinion. Alternate color armor parts really doesn't matter if you're going to be painting the kit, and the camouflage water slide decals are just too much, I think. On the one end of the box, just a nice tall image there of the Ziegler standing there holding the lance weapon that it comes with. It comes with two like main weapons. There's one that's like a shotgun rifle looking weapon, and then this one kind of beam lance looking weapon. On the other side, not really much here. Just some space and kind of Zeong-esque looking logo there, and then just Ziegler there, high definition plastic model kit. And then I'd say this is clearly the back, so the other side would have been the front. So here we just have a lot of different detail images of the kits. Not really sure how necessary this would be, because if you were trying to sell a kit, you'd want to show off on the box what are like some of the features of it, but as far as I know, this kit was already sold out in pre-order, so you don't really need to sell anyone on what's actually inside the box. But anyway, we can still take a look at this though. The laser cannon fired in the jaws is 180 degree rotatable, so it's really kind of hard to see there, but it's just the mouth basically can open and close if you want to have that mouth cannon active or inactive. It has 6 short-range laser-guided missiles on the shoulders, 2 heavy-duty laser cannons mounted on the waist, 5-barrel laser cannon are mounted in the forearms. The hand can switch around to make the cannons there. Forearms are detachable in a wire-guided mode. There's the grenade launcher there, and then the dual bayonet beam spear. Pretty cool looking. I wasn't really too into that at first, but it's definitely looks much better than like the lance weapon that was included with the Cubile. For their Cubile kit, I like it more. So it does also come with this huge jumbo size metal reinforced stand with power control, so you'll be able to plug in the this into a USB slot for lighting up all of the LEDs in this kit, and this kit does have a lot of LEDs. So you can switch again, obviously, if you want to have the legs or without the legs. Without the legs, you just have like a big bunch of boosters, thruster bells like that. That's cool, and I think if you like really were crazy and got two of these, it would be cool to have one or the other, but I think most people are probably going to stick with using the legs. If not, then what are you going to do with all of that plastic they'll have left over? So here you can kind of see some of that digital camo effect. I think with the water slides on there, it's going to be even more apparent, and it's just kind of making an already really busy design look even more busy by adding all those extra decals on there. Okay, so let's finally pop the seal, the official seal on there, and get this guy open. Inside the box top, we've got more stuff, just another picture of the kit, and then you can see some of the kit data and specifications here. So the body height, the total height ground level to the head top in standing pose without model stand is 37.7 centimeters. It's almost 40 centimeters in the perfect mode. That's with the legs. Overall height with the model stand is a 43.2 centimeters, so very tall. Shoulder width, body depth, weapon 1, weapon 2, overall length. So that's the overall length of the beam spear is 60 centimeters. And kit specifications here, overall ingredients 2,645 pieces. Plastic parts is 2,341 pieces, so 2,341 plastic parts in this, plus another 300, and I guess that would be like photo etch and LED components probably. Plastic runners, 73 runners, so I'm not going to be going through all the runners of this kit. We'll just take a look at some of them. I'm not going to flip through 73 runners, that'd be crazy. LED, 46 LEDs. Screws and nuts, 95. Metal stamping components, I think that would be photo etch, 14, and then a whole bunch of other stuff. USB cable, here's photo etching parts. Photo etching parts would be 70 pieces, so that'll be fun. So of this kit, availability, the pre-order bonus, the pre-order version is 3,000 pieces, and then the clear armor version is only 800 pieces. So the clear armor version is actually much more limited, and I guess that would make it much more valuable in the long run, but I just wasn't really into that. So opening it up here, here's the really cool image there, really big blown up image for more inner artwork, and then we finally get to the boxes. So this is actually separated into 4 boxes inside the main box. So we had actually the main outer shipping box, the main box, and then 4 inner boxes. So let's just pull out box A. I'm not sure, it would be great if these boxes were separated. So like set A is all the parts for like the first part of the construction. So like you just go through all the parts of part A, and then when you finish that, then you're on to all the parts of part B. So what I mean is so that you don't have to switch between boxes, but who knows if that's actually going to be the case or not. Inside here we've just got this wire component, so this looks like maybe this is the wire for the hands when it's like shooting off, and it will actually light up, possibly. That's what that looks like. And then here's some like effect parts. It looks like probably for the hand. I can see the runner label on this actually tiny runner is actually from the Kurosa Q, which is their Cubolate kit. So at least that is left over. This looks like parts for the base. So yeah, maybe you're making the base first. That would make sense. It looks like there's something more interesting at the bottom of this box, so just digging through this. Yeah, it seems to be all the parts for the base, and then it is getting into some of the actual other parts for the kit, red and light purplish. Here's one of the runners here. This would be runner 43, and you can see here the label at the top is labeled ZMS2 Ziegler. And this is just some inner frame parts, obviously looks like, but you can see just all the detail there. So aside from all the detail on the outside, and all the part separation and all of that do have a lot of detail on the inside as well, so that's fun. And then here's runner 30 or 22. I don't know the way that they have this numbered. I guess that's supposed to be 22, but yeah, those numbers are kind of hard to read. I wish they would have just gone with a normal font for the numbers at least, to be easier to write. But here you can see just some more of these parts. These look like some of the armor parts for the head. You can see obviously faceplate there, and these are just some of the parts for that. Molding looks quite nice. I can see some areas that are definitely going to want to be sanded, but overall not really seeing a whole lot of flash or anything, so all the molding looks really solid. Details are pretty sharp. And the red parts here is to be runner 23. And here's something they've done with past kits as well for like really breakable parts here. Like it'd be in past parts, I think they use this for like the V-fin, but for like the antennas on the top of the head, it's got this extra plastic protecting that. So there's no way that that's gonna break unless, I mean, like you're really pushing on that. But that's awesome, just helps to protect that. So you're not gonna break in that. It's really fine, sharp molding on that. That's gonna be really cool. And you can see just like some parts like this vent part here, also just nicely molded. One thing that all of Mechanicore's kits has been the case for people that have actually built them is that they do have fitting issues. You do have to like sometimes modify some parts. Definitely you have to use some glue to get everything fitting nicely, but just the sheer amount of parts is just crazy. Okay, box 2. Kind of cool how the boxes are all individually sealed. Ooh, okay. So this is nice for their chrome plating. Rather than that really obnoxious chrome that they've used before, it's just a nice like dull metallic silver coating. So that's quite nice actually. I like that a lot more than that really bright, almost kind of like greenish colored chrome that they used in the past. So there's a whole bunch of this stuff in here. Those are just all just thruster bells, and this runner is actually new for this kit, but it's pretty much the same thruster bell design that they've used forever. Some more just inner parts that are already metallic sprayed for you. A whole bunch of these piston and detailed parts. Here you actually have 2 of that runner. Some more blue armor parts. Whole bunch of yellow vent parts, also look really nicely molded. So you actually have like actual space between the vents. You got 2 of that runner as well. Some more gray, some brown detailed parts. Here you can see one of the pre-order bonuses for the limited edition is the black colored parts. So this is the regular color is in dark blue for these armor parts, but you have the option of using black instead. So again, if you're painting, it really doesn't matter too much, but just because of how big and complicated these kits are, I know that some people do opt to just not paint them, because they are molded in a lot of different colors, which is nice. So that's pretty much it for this box. Just some more white parts, just loads and loads of parts here. And on to box C, and I can see the bottom of the main box now, and there's no instructions there, so I'm guessing the instructions and all of the LED stuff and all of that is probably in the last box, in box D. All of that extra stuff. We do have some poly caps, huge poly cap runner, 2 of those in there. Or just the detail on this is crazy. I mean, they had detail like this on the teeth sturmer on their Deep Striker as well, and it looks great, but this is just, I wouldn't have imagined that they could have gotten like even crazier than the Deep Striker, but this thing is ridiculous. Just all of these piston parts, more inner parts, like some stuff on the outside, like some of these outer armor parts have a large space without any details. So I mean, like, the outside is not so crazy super detailed, which I like that. I like having a lot of the detail on the inside, and like where you can see the frame, you can see a lot of that detail. I think this kit, I mean, it would be great to have the clear version of this kit just so that you could actually see all the detail inside. I think ultimately for the finished product, I'm gonna like the look of just a normal painted kit. But and here at the bottom of this box, here we have some of our metal stuff here. So let's take a look at this. So here we have some of the metal and electronic components for this kit. So these big metal bars here, that's for the arm of the base to hold up the kit. This looks to be a light sensor, if I can judge that correctly. Some metal pins, I'm not sure, I'm guessing maybe also probably for the base. Some more metal rods there, also probably for the base. These orangish yellow metal rods there, I think those are actually, because there's two of those, I think maybe those are actually for the arms, if you want to have like the arms shooting off. So those look like metal, but maybe it's like a softer metal so that you can actually bend that. And then just some LED circuits there for plugging all the LEDs, and the USB cable for plugging that into USB. Alright, last box here, box D, set D, apparently as it says on the outside of the box. And yeah, first thing right off the bat is greeted with this stuff here. This package of the manual, some photo etch parts there. There's got to be more photo etch than that somewhere in here, and some of the decals. This big huge pack here. So again, there's some of the photo etch. Very nice. There's this just insert here, just this one page. Says for the souvenirs for premium version. So this is just black versions of 6 of the runners. So for 6 different runners, you'll have the option of choosing black instead of dark blue, and then the decal sheet. So basically this is just telling you what's especially included for that. So here is the custom camouflage decal set. So this I am actually not planning on using, so I just want to sell this probably. Like I said, in the case of this particular kit, I think it just makes the design look overly busy. And plus I'm just not really a big fan of digital camo in general on anything. So yeah, if you're interested, I mean, if you have this, I guess, I don't know who would have this kit and not get these decals. I guess if you have like maybe the clear version or something like that. But if you are interested in buying these from me, just send me a message. Ideally on my Facebook page would be good. Shoot me a message and we'll sort that out. I won't charge too much for that. But this is the waterslide decal sheet that should come with every single version. It's just a big, huge A4 size sheet. I mean, considering the size of the kit, this waterslide sheet actually is not really that large, but the decals are very large and they're very tightly packed together. So you're gonna have to do some really precision cutting there between these. But all the details, everything, I mean, it all looks really nice. They're molded, or they're printed in mostly white, yellow, red, and gray. Looks like. So the darker colors is a really dark gray, and then just a whole lot of white. Kind of wish that they would have included a thin, like tissue sheet or some kind of like non-stick sheet over the decal, between the decals and the plastic, because they're kind of like sticking to this plastic that they're wrapped in. And you can kind of see that, how they're like stuck to there. So hopefully that won't damage them. Might maybe just stick a sheet of paper in there in between to just help keep those protected. And then of course the manual. So as you can imagine, this is very big. There's all the stats that we went through before. This is 54 pages all the way through. At the very back here, let's just take a look at this. This is the decal application. So you can see where some of those decals go. I like the decals for this design. They did a pretty good job with that. And I mean, it's all just normal stuff. I'm not gonna go through every single page here, but it's just all parts, more parts. Then all of the other non-plastic components, so all the metal parts, screws, metal rods, photo etch. I said before, the photo etching parts is 70 pieces, but if that's the only photo etch thing in there, I'm not counting, without counting, that doesn't look like 70 pieces of photo etch on there. But anyway, all of the LED stuff there, crazy. The manual, the decal sheet, and then the construction. So the first thing you're building is the head, which from what I hear of other Mechanicore kits, the head typically tends to be the most difficult part. So I guess good that they're getting that out of the way right away. And yeah, this is small, so if you have trouble with the fine print, then you might need to get out your reading glasses for this one, because it's really tiny. You can see there, it's got the numbers because the runners aren't labeled with the letters, so instead of being like B14, it's 24, 14, 23, 21, like that, so it might be a little bit confusing. And then here's some metal parts. It says to use some glue here. How to wire the LEDs is all in there as well. And it's kind of skipping ahead to near the back. It's how to make just the thruster units if you aren't using the legs. The rifle and the beam spear, and then the base is actually at the back. You're building at the end, and then just kind of final assembly instructions here, mounting it onto the base, and then just showing some of the features like lifting up the head, opening the cockpit, opening some different sections there. Alright, the other stuff in this box is clear yellow, plain clear parts, the clear green parts, some of those, as well as the clear green parts for like the spear ends. Those actually look really quite nice. It's a really nice bright fluorescent green, clear, and really sharp. Those look really good actually. Finally, in the bottom of there, we finally get to all of the LED stuff. So here's the box of that, some pins, some screws, and just all this LED madness. Now, not sure how the quality of all this wiring is, but it looks all pretty simple. It's all just kind of plug it in, string it in as it goes. We'll have to see how the construction actually goes later. So that is it for this unboxing. There's a lot of stuff in this box. To be honest, I've never really been a big fan of the Zeong, the Perfect Zeong, really all that much. But I just really like what Mechanicore does with their kits, with their designs. But if I could just send a message to the people at Mechanicore, I'll just say, you gotta reel it back a little bit now. I mean, this is just getting ridiculous. I mean, this kit is huge and it looks awesome, but I think they just keep getting bigger and bigger, and you need to just take a step back. You don't need to go any bigger than this. It's just too much. Literally, it's just too much. This kit already costs too much. It's a crazy expensive kit. It's a crazy huge kit, and it looks crazy awesome too. But I mean, they do some cool work on their designs and everything, and the kits and the stuff they put out. I think they're really improving with each release. Kind of what they're doing. They tend to try some things out, and sometimes they don't work, and sometimes they work. And so I think they're kind of finding their footing of exactly like what they need to put out with the kits. But man, they need to just reel it back and just make them a little bit smaller. Just go back to something a little bit more kind of standard without being like this huge. It's just ridiculous. But I am looking forward to building this. But please, please don't ask me when I'm going to be reviewing this kit. I'm definitely not going to be just snapping this kit up and doing just a normal like out-of-box review of this kit. That's never ever going to happen. But when am I ever going to get around to actually building and like painting the kit? Next year is my plan. This kit is just too big. It takes up way too much space in this room that's already full of stuff. So while I was planning on going through Mechanicore's kits and building them in order, starting off by finishing my Ellen Kshatriya kit, and then like going through Mechanicore's kits with the Cassie and then the Penelope and so on and so forth, I might just skip all of those and build actually build this one first, because yeah, I just want to get this thing built. It's just taking up too much space as it is. And I, obviously I've done unboxing videos for all of the Mechanicore kits, but I have yet to actually really build one. So they're just too big and they just take way too much time. But this is something that I need to just finally go ahead and tackle. So next year I have a few commissions that I especially need to finish. So I'm gonna work on just finishing some commissions, and then probably not take any commissions maybe after that, because I want to just work on this. Now, if I'm actually going to end up wanting to sell this kit after building it, I'm not sure, because for how much work I'm going to be putting into that, I think I'm going to be pretty, feeling pretty close with the kit. It might be kind of hard to part with it after that. But I don't know, you know, money. If you're thinking that you're maybe gonna want to possibly be buying my painted version of this kit, then start saving up your money, I guess, and then maybe like about a year from now I might be finished with that, but we'll just have to see. Anyway, that's it for this video. I'll wrap this up. It's been long enough, it's late, and I also have to film the unboxing for this guy. So thank you guys as always for watching, and should also give a special thank you and shout out to Samuel Decal. If you're wondering where I bought this, I got mine from Samuel Decal. That's who I always get my Mechanicore kits from, so he's awesome. This obviously wasn't like sponsored or anything. I didn't get this for free from him, but I just enjoyed my shopping experience with him always, so just shout out to him. Thank you, Samuel, for this, and that's it, guys. See you next time. This is really hurting my knee, kneeling down here. Thanks for watching. See you next time.